In the future, an annual competition called the Long Walk is held in the country, in which 50 young men participate. The task of the participants is to walk a multi-kilometer route. The grand prize is a large sum of money and the fulfillment of one wish. Raymond received a notification confirming his voluntary application to participate in the Long Walk. He was granted the rare honor of representing his state as a symbol of hope in the current difficult economic situation. The notice instructed him to come to the starting line on March 1st at 8 a.m. Raymond is driven to the gathering point by his mother. She does not understand why Raymond wants to participate in the walk. Raymond asks her to forget about it. He sees it as the only way out of his financial problems. Before he leaves, she gives Raymond some cookies. He promises that he will definitely come back. Raymond meets another participant, Peter. They quickly start talking and get acquainted with other contestants, Hank, Barkovich, Baker, Stebbins, and Curly, the smallest participant. Soon, the local commander arrives. The major asks everyone to sit down and reminds them of the 13th piece of advice. Save your energy whenever you can. Then he calls out the players one by one so they can collect their tags. After that, they must form groups of 5 in any order. After their country went through a war, the authorities created this very event, the Long Walk. Year after year, after the walk, there is a rise in production across the nation. From this moment on, they must keep walking, and only one will become the winner. The pace must remain at least 5 kilometers per hour. The Long Walk. Year after year, after the walk, there is a rise in production across the nation. From this moment on, they must keep walking, and only one will become the winner. The pace must remain at least 5 kilometers per hour. If the speed drops, that's one warning. If you fail to regain the speed within 10 seconds, a second warning. After the third warning elimination, if you maintain the required pace for 1 hour, one warning is erased. Step off the road, immediate disqualification. There can be only one winner, and there is no finish line. The major fires his gun into the air, marking the start. The participants are surprised that the road they are walking along seems deserted. Hank suggests smiling, since they are being filmed by hidden cameras. The players have covered 5 miles. Participant number 38 receives the first warning. Some believe it's a strategy, to get a warning early while they still have plenty of strength so they can later erase it. Number 5 kneels down to tie his shoelaces. He does it so slowly that he receives 3 warnings. A soldier is already preparing to punish him, but Barkovich stands up and starts walking again. Barkovich decided that by doing this, he would earn himself a break. The problem is that now he has to walk 3 hours without rest. At the 7th mile, they discuss what they will wish for if they win. For Raymond, the prize is not important. He believes the system deliberately drives people into a corner, which is why all these boys submit their resumes to participate in the walk. Peter promises that if he wins, he will take the money and spend it on many good deeds. They are interrupted by Harkness, who wants to record their numbers so he can write a book about the long walk in the future. Suddenly, Curly's leg cramps up. Raymond helps him stabilize his pace, but the pain grows stronger and Curly falls onto the road. After receiving all his warnings, he is eliminated. Raymond was shocked by what he saw. At the 17th mile, his strength slowly began to fade. Peter reminded him that there was no finish line at all, and that weighed heavily on the mind. At this moment, it was impossible to think about the end. They had to focus on real problems, like enduring the heat. Pearson ran up and pointed to a girl who had written Raymond's number. Peter found it amusing, saying that Raymond had gained a personal fan. They had been taught that it was forbidden to make friends with other participants, but their little company was worth breaking that rule. Player number 1 began to feel sick and dropped out. On the 25th mile, Barkovich used a new tactic. He mocked one of the participants. The boy tried to hit him but stumbled and was eliminated. Other players accused Barkovich of being a real killer. A few miles later, another boy was gone. By the 35th mile, night was approaching. The soldiers turned on the spotlights. Raymond wanted to say something, but he had to wait until morning. That night, Peter woke Raymond up. He was literally walking in his sleep and received a warning. The time was 3:45 a.m. For the past several hours, Raymond had been walking half asleep. His brain was using every bit of his body's strength. Even Peter managed to get some sleep. He was amazed at what their bodies were capable of. Raymond received a few more warnings. Peter encouraged him, asking him to walk for 3 more hours, after which the warnings would be cleared. Raymond snapped, saying that Peter was secretly dreaming of the moment he would be killed. They soon faced a climb up a hill. 6 years ago, half the participants had been eliminated there. Now, history seemed to be repeating itself. A huge number of players dropped out. Raymond realized he had no room for mistakes. The climb only made things worse. Luckily, Peter didn't let him slow down and advised him to pour water over his head. At the top of the hill, Raymond began to slow down. Peter told him he couldn't do that and needed to wait for his breathing to recover. Raymond apologized for his earlier words. A new day dawned. Peter admitted that he no longer believed in his victory. The strongest do not survive. If that were true, he would have had good chances. Something inside their heads was giving them strength, and that was what he lacked. When the time came, he said he would just sit down, but not before Barkovich gave up, because that one he would definitely outlast. At this point, 18 people remained. The chance of winning was more than 5%. By the 67th mile, Raymond managed to erase one of his warnings. It turned out that the writer Harkness had twisted his ankle long ago and kept walking in pain, but now his journey had come to an end. The Major congratulated them. They had covered 150 kilometers. The prize was getting closer. Stebbins' health was getting worse. He said that every spring he suffered from allergies. Suddenly, one participant tried to escape and was immediately eliminated. 3 miles later, Stebbins said that his wish would be to get a rocket and fly to the moon. That had been his dream for a long time. Hank kept chewing the same piece of gum since the very start. He believed that as long as the gum lived, so did he. Raymond's wish was far greater in scale. He wanted to stop all of this. His wish would indirectly bring change. All night they walked through pouring rain, 144 miles. The participants' condition worsened. Raymond told Peter a story. His father had always taught him forbidden subjects. One day, the Major came to their house, accusing the man of serious crimes, the possession and distribution of prohibited materials and ideas, and eliminated his father. Raymond swore that when he won, he would kill the Major. At the 175th mile, 2 players dropped out. That night, Hank left their group. Baker could not abandon his friend, but Raymond managed to force him to keep walking. Day 4. 6 players remained. They learned that Hank had a wife, and they promised that the winner would share the prize money with her. Barkovich began losing his mind and eliminated himself, screaming that he never actually wanted to kill that boy. By the 5th day, they had covered 278 miles. Their path now passed through the town where Raymond's mother lived. Parker said he was lucky to see his family again, but Peter saw it as a curse. The main thing was to keep walking and not get distracted. When they reached the town, Raymond's shoe tore apart. Peter advised him to take off both shoes, otherwise the uneven gait would drain all his strength. Then he saw his mother. Something snapped inside him, and he almost ran toward the sidewalk. Luckily, Peter caught him and pulled him back onto the road, begging him not to do it. Not in front of her, not while she was watching. At the 306th mile, the players decided that they needed to stop helping each other. Parker was too tired to continue. He attacked a soldier, managing to take one down, but died himself. That night, Baker's nose started bleeding. Raymond and Peter broke their rule to help him keep moving. Still, Baker knew his time had come. He gave them his medal and asked them to give it to his grandmother, then stepped out of the game. At the 326th mile, Stebbins was eliminated, but he said that walking beside them had been an honor. Only Raymond and Peter remained alive. When they reached the next city, Peter suddenly stopped. That was his second warning. He said he wanted to give up so Raymond could return to his family, but Raymond forced him to keep going. A bit later, Peter didn't notice that Raymond had stopped. He already had 3 warnings, which meant elimination. Peter couldn't understand why Raymond had done that. Raymond answered that he himself couldn't see the light, but Peter could, and that's why he deserved to win. Peter fell to his knees and began to cry. The Major asked Peter what his wish was. Peter asked the soldier to give him his weapon so that he could pass it on to the children. The Major, knowing of Peter's dream to make the world a better place, didn't sense any threat and allowed the soldier to hand him the gun. But now Peter wanted to eliminate the Major. Though the Major tried to convince him not to waste his wish on such nonsense, Peter could no longer be persuaded. And that's where the film comes to an end. Thank you for watching till the end.